that was in the tournament for that matter. So you got to give credit to Purdue and Villanova. Villanova obviously been there, done that before. Big matchup tonight between Villanova and Purdue.
Yeah, Matt Painter was, did a good job with a team that was picked to be in the bottom half of the Big Ten this year. He was Big Ten Coach of the Year, but one thing he'll never be labeled as Big Game Coach of the Year. This is a coach who, with this Purdue team, has faltered in tons of big games over his career. And that's one thing that concerns me every year picking Purdue. I didn't pick Purdue to go past this round because of that. It just seems like every time Purdue gets to that big game, things just fall apart for them. And I don't know if that's more to be said about Matt Painter or his players, but at some point it's got to go on the coach because it's happened consistently now for 7, 8, 9 years. So that's what concerns me about Purdue in this matchup. Villanova, obviously a much different team than they were last year when they won the national championship. We saw them get beat by a lot of bad teams this year. But Jay Wright, is another guy who can win big games. And to me, that's my biggest concern, Tom, this whole game. Not player matchups, not anything. It's just the fact that Matt Painter and Purdue have faltered in big games. Obviously, I'm going to cheer for the home team, even though, like you, I'm an IU fan, not a Purdue fan. But it's hard to get behind Matt Painter and this basketball team every year because they continue to struggle in big games.
Bruce Pearl cut it way too close with the Auburn. Now, I've got Auburn going deep, and they're matched up against a very good Kansas team, and the Jayhawks are playing Jayhawk basketball. They are who we thought they were. And Bruce Pearl, very good coach. Remember when he coached here in Indiana, in southern Indiana, down in Evansville at USI for a little bit. But Bruce Pearl really cut it close. Way too close for comfort if I'm them. How do they get ready to beat the Kansas Jayhawks if they can even do it? I've got them going deep, so I hope they can. But what are your thoughts?
It's funny because I had actually picked New Mexico State in that game because with my insomnia, I got to see New Mexico State play a couple times, and you're right. They cut it way too close. Bruce Pearl's a fun guy. It's still a team in Auburn. We saw their assistant coach get nabbed in this FBI sting. There could still be some issues with Bruce Pearl coming from the NCAA. Kansas is an interesting team. We saw them, bow out of the Big 12 tournament. We saw this team, lose a couple of stupid games, and their coach, where there could be some rumored issues at Kansas and some sanctions from the NCAA. We could see Bill Self on the way to coach the Chicago Bulls at the end of the season. So it's an interesting time, I think, for this Kansas basketball team because I think these players and these kids also feel the rumors of their coach possibly on the move. So this is the type of situation you want if you're Auburn to go against a distracted Kansas team. I think obviously, like you said, Auburn's going to play much better in this basketball game. But I think that Auburn, can pull this out. But again, you've got to not let Kansas get up on you early and get a big lead. And that's what the Jayhawks like to do. So if Auburn can keep it close, they definitely got a shot at this game, especially with a possibly distracted basketball team.
Well, we've only got a few more moments here, so we want to just wrap up tomorrow's game. There's bracket busters written all over tomorrow's games, and we could go into each and every one of them. We could, but we just don't have time. But we look at Buffalo. We look at the way Iowa played yesterday. We look at UCF could possibly beat Duke. I don't look for that to happen. We look at Houston again. Ohio State playing in all cylinders as well. We saw Oregon as well. So there's all kinds of really big bracket buster potential tomorrow. When you look at tomorrow's game, are we going to be ripping up paper on tomorrow or what?
I don't think so, obviously, with Duke, just because, when you look at the size that UCF has, they have their one guy that's, 7'7", but I just think Zion's too big. This kid's really skinny, so I think Duke makes their way through that one. Buffalo, Texas Tech is real interesting for me. Buffalo, obviously, a team that a lot of people don't know about, but they're a fantastic team. Being up in this neck of the woods, I get to see a lot of that conference's games. So it's they were a fun team to watch all year long. But Texas Tech has been able to play some very good basketball and beat some very good teams this year. So that could be a very fun matchup for us to see tomorrow. Ohio State, Houston's interesting. Calvin Sampson obviously has done a good job with that Houston team. But, Ohio State shocked me once. Don't be surprised if they shock you again. Iowa, Tennessee could be close. Like I said, Tennessee scared me their day against Colgate. So if Iowa comes out and plays a tough basketball game, there's no doubt that they have a chance to knock off Tennessee. So, yeah, there could be some times tomorrow that a bunch of us could be upset.
Well, we'll see what happens, and hopefully we all live to play another week next weekend. Mo from the BS Sports Show, thanks for joining us. Where can people find you? Where can your masterpiece, sir?
931thefan.com and at Mo Radio Show. Also, hey, no Romeo Langford today again for IU. Think he's going pro?
Oh, I don't know. He's got that hurt back. I don't know if he can make the draft. All right, buddy. You have yourself a good weekend.
Thanks, Tom. It's good to talk to you again, buddy.
All right, buddy. Mo from the BS Sports Show. Love having him on. He's just been a part of this show for a long, long time, and love having him on and talking some bracket buster. And you know what? Time flies when you're having fun. We have got to go. We have got to wrap it up and put a bow on it. I hope your brackets stay intact. We just never know, and that's part of the excitement of March Madness. Remember, don't drink and drive. It isn't cool. I know it's fun to get out there and go to the bars and watch the games, but use your brain. We got Lyft, we got Uber. Don't drink and drive. It ain't cool. My name's Marquis, El Presidente. We do this thing called The Balance every Saturday. I'm out of here. Deuces. Say la vis.
Join us next week for The Balance. In the meantime, check us out on Twitter, T-Balance, or Facebook, The Balance, or online at www.thebalanceonline.com.